People, what up? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap Balance Patch Balance Update video. Y'all know what we do. We look at the changes, we talk about them. So y'all leave a like. And bro, okay, let's get straight into it, man. So they changed Deathstrike, Darkhawk, Leech, Psylocke, Sauron, Big Claw, and Big Alt Reezy. And we gonna spend a lot of time on this because y'all know I like Ultron, but I got a lot to say about that. But let's just go straight down the line. I'm gonna talk about each of these, in order, right? So we got Lady Deathstrike up first. So they changed her from 7 power to 6 power. So before I even read the notes, I still, since the change, I have not fought against a Lady Deathstrike. And so I don't even really think that she's that good of a card, but apparently she was really good. I haven't seen her. Let's just go ahead and read what they had to say. We're happy that the latest update to Lady Deathstrike created space for this card in the metagame. However, its performance indicates we overshot that mark by just a hair. Deathstrike has become one of the best cards in the game for the last few weeks, and even the top performer in some Annihilus shells. That's right over Annihilus himself. Given we're seeing these decks overperform a little bit, we're addressing both issues by taking away a little power here. Okay, so apparently they were in Annihilus decks. I could see that. You throw your Sentry down. You also have your Demon. If you're not able to kill them with Annihilus, then you could do it with Deathstrike. And she was a little bit stronger, so I get that. And apparently she was the top card. But here's the thing, y'all. If I'm using Annihilus, I feel like, why use Deathstrike when I could just use like Galactus? You know what I'm saying? Because who do you have? You got, I'm not gonna list every card, but you have your typical junk deck, right? You probably got your Goblins, Ravonna. Here I am listing every card, right? You got Hood, Goblins, Ravonna. You got maybe Viper, Annihilus, obviously, Sentry. Debris, maybe Luke Cage, Hazmat. I feel like you throw Galactus on that, but apparently she was a top card, and people were not using Galactus on that deck, so I should have used. I can still use this. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Deathstrike, but like I said, I have not seen this card ever, so that's just the matchmaking. So we could just move on, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about her. Up next, we got Darkhawk, who they're also nerfing again. This is another card that I've probably played like once or twice since they changed him, and it's just like, I feel like he's fine. It's definitely not as strong as it used to be, because he used to be able to put him and Shang on the last turn before the Zabu patch, right? So I let's just read it, right? They took away 1 power. It may sound surprising, but Darkhawk has continued to soar after moving to 5 costs. In fact, it spent the majority of the time since as one of the highest win rate cards in the game, often the highest. We've given it a few weeks to see if the metagame would demonstrate the kind of healthy churn we like to see, but after little to no change on this count, we're taking action. We want Darkhawk to continue playing an important part in the metagame, but there's a delicate balance to preserve around having too many rocks. Yeah, so these changes are really confusing me, because I just have not seen these cards. Y'all let me know. I don't know if it's the matchmaking, if I'm not playing enough, if I'm too low ranked, right? But I feel like he was fine. I feel like Deathstrike was fine. I guess the statistics don't they say otherwise. And we still have cards like Red Hulk that are untouched. Hela's hasn't been nerfed ever, right? Hope Summers is still out of hand. So but they want to tone down Deathstrike and Darkhawk. So I really don't have much to say about these two cards, to be honest with y'all. So y'all let me know what you think. But up next, we got my twin, Big Leech, they changed them, putting them all the way down to a 4 cost with 2 power. And I actually think this is really good, especially right now, because he really works well on like a Blink Electro type deck. I just used that probably like a day or two ago at this point, whenever this comes out. And so you're gonna have more opportunities to Blink Leech and pull a higher power card, or just simply be able to get your Leech out, you know, before turn 5, where you might want to play something a lot stronger. So I think this is really good, especially you know, considering his ability take away the arm reveal abilities. So you're gonna be able to get rid of them earlier, like, but I mean, obviously it's not gonna work against, you know, cards like Onslaught or Patriot, who we're gonna talk about later, right? So let's go ahead and read this. It's been a while since Leech terrorized the Snap Ladder. Shifting it to only affect on reveal solved the frustration Leech created, but at 5-3 the stats have been too weak to compete with the other 5 cost cards, even with this effect. In particular, Hella's new access to energy gain has meant a 5 cost Leech can't always stop the big resurrection plan. That's a good point. At 4-2, Leech can effectively address popular threats like Hella, Annihilus, Jane Foster, and Cannonball. Oh, Jane, I'm like, who's Jane? That's Thor. That's Lady Thor. Besides, we can't help but to root for our favorite Morlock after seeing that brave face on X-Men 97. Still haven't watched that. But yeah, I mean, this is a good point that they bring up to stop Hella, because now you have Corvus Glaive and you're able to get your Hella out on turn 5. But yeah, this is big for those 2 reasons, right? You got your Blink stuff, and now you're able to stop Hella. You can still use them in the same way, throw them on like a high evolutionary deck if you just can't think of the last card you want to put on there. And I mean, you're still gonna be cool, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think of Leech. I think this is a pretty good change. I hope he doesn't become too annoying, too out of hand once again. That's my twin, like I said. Next, we got Big Psylocke. So yeah, they nerfed her, I assume, to take care of Thanos, but he's been taken care of, so they're giving her her power back. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna say. We previously nerfed Psylocke, yeah, to 2-1 when Thanos was overperforming, as Psylocke was contributing a lot to the Mad Titans win percentage. Now that Thanos has settled into a healthier position, and with some future adjustments to come, it's appropriate to revert Psylocke back to 2 power. Literally what we just said, man. So I mean it's cool, right? One thing I fought against the other day that's really interesting is they put down Psylocke on turn 3, Sarah on turn 4, Onslaught on turn 5, and then they were able to get out you know, a lot of their cards on turn 6. So you're gonna be able to do something like that. But this also makes me sad because they buffing Psylocke back. Where's my boy Zabu at, man? Where is he at? I don't know if he'll ever get his shine back, but I hope he does, man. I like this Psylocke change. Y'all let me know what y'all think of it. Big Sauron. They gave him 1 extra power, so now he's 3-3. What do they have to say about this? Similar to Psylocke, we weakened Sauron a touch during an era of specific overperformance. Given the era has passed, we're returning that power now. This is interesting, man, because I mean, you really only see Sauron on one type of deck, the Shuri Sauron. I haven't really been fighting against those lately. It's mostly been like a lot of junk, discard, or mill decks, right? So, and you know, it's interesting because I feel like all you really need is Shuri and Red Skull to be able to win with the Sauron deck. I'm not really sure what this 1 point of power is going to do for that. But clearly they felt the need to buff that in some way, and it's probably smarter not to touch up Red Skull, Taskmaster, one of those type of cards, because it's probably really easy to get them out of hand, out of control, right? We know Red Skull used to be, what was it, 515, and that was just way too strong, right? So I mean, I kind of like this if you look at it like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think of Big Sauron though. Claw, this is a really big deal, man. So we know he used to give the location to the right +6. Now it's +8. And so I really like this change because I like Claw. I just I also don't like this change though because they're releasing Nomura, and this is one of the main cars that competes with her, and now there's just no reason to grab her, right? Because I would rather always just use Claw, put them alongside my Namor, and then probably have either Jeff over there and either Jeff or Nightcrawler over there with him to prevent them from being able to get shanked, and then move them out on the last turn, like turn 6 or whatever, so that way I could put my Onslaught behind my Claw, and instead of getting plus 12, I'm getting plus 16 now. I get the strong Namor, I get the strong middle with Claw, Onslaught. I don't know if you got like Iron Man or something in there, if you had like Magic out earlier. And yeah, I mean that type of stuff looks really good now. Or if you have like a lockdown deck or Ebony Maw, some cards like that out, just that extra 2 power is gonna go a very long way. And it's sad for the reason of Nomura, but it's really great for those type of decks, and really great because I feel like Claw is a slept on card who was good before, but now he's great, right? And let's see what they have to say. It's been exciting to see ongoing base decks claiming their due at upper ranks over the last week. One card that has continued to suffer in an awkward in-between spot is Claw as a 5-cost card that's fairly restrictive. Because Claw has a novel restriction and gameplay reward, we're adding power to the ongoing effect to further emphasize those unique elements. So yeah, man, I really like this. Even being able to support a Orca, right? Because oftentimes 16 isn't enough. Now you got 18, right? So it's really good, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think of big Claw. But last but not least, we have Ultron, aka Alt Reezy. So Ultron, I'm going to read, but I'm going to talk about it first. So the drones are now two power. One costs 2 power, so they can still get Killmongered, right? They're still boosted by Khazar, which is a big deal. I thought before this patch, Onslaught. I thought Ultron was probably the unoptimal card to include in a Patriot deck, because the better way would probably be to like Mr. Sinister, Brood, Absorbing Man, and then you got your Mockingbird, right? Those are probably the better ways to fill up the lane. And so this is really interesting because you're going from like, after a Patriot boost, you're going from a lane full of drones being, what is it, 3, 6, 9, you're going from 12 to, each of them are gonna now have 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Did I just do that math? No. You're going from 16 to 20. My bad. And that's a really big deal. I think it is to be able to compete with the other type of Patriot deck. But again, you can just throw Ultron on a Patriot deck with those other cards and use whichever strategy you see fit. I think this might get out of hand, and y'all know I am a fan of Ultron, but the drones being 2 is just like, like I said, man, you get your Khazar, you get Patriot, Blue Marvel, Ultron, like, and obviously those cards suffer against cards like Rogue, Enchantress, that type of stuff, right? But you just hide those behind Cosmo, right? And then you just win off of, I guess, the Ultron lane and the drone lane, right? So this is really interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go ahead and read this before we wrap up though. A metagame threat in the early days, Ultron's gotten weaker as decks increased their focus on filling each location more efficiently, concentrating power. The drones have already had predators in the metagame thanks to Killmonger and Lady Deathstrike. And Ultron himself is quite vulnerable to Cannonball. This is a lot of power to add to Ultron, so we might need to come back and take some away from Ultron himself, but we decided not to do so preemptively in case that wasn't necessary. We'd rather see Ultron make a splash once more than continue to flounder, I guess, man. So they just taking their little risk with it. And obviously you can also run Dr. Doom instead if you don't want to fill the whole lane up. But isn't that just weaker because you got your 5 power Doom and then your 7 power bots? Was that 14 versus Ultron? He's gonna give you 20 in one lane, yeah, literally 20 in one lane. Plus he's already stronger than Dr. Doom, but you can't use him as versatile as Dr. Doom. But yeah, man, this is a really interesting patch. Y'all let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, as far as what I said, what they changed, what y'all thought should have gotten changed. Like I said, Red Hulk is still very stupid, and I don't understand why they won't change him. And if one of y'all in the comments can let me know why that's the case, please do. But that's gonna be that's gonna be it for this video, man. As always, y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 2K subs. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.